Is it hard to be fresh if you don't have money, or can you still pull it off?
See, when I ain't had no money, I still had sauce. See, if you don't got no sauce, then you're lost. But you can also get lost in the sauce.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another video. Again, today we're working on this EK swap car. Last video, if you guys didn't watch it, go ahead and check it out. If you are trying to do power steering on your swap car, we went ahead and ran all the lines, everything for power steering. So the lines that go to the rack, to the power steering pump. Also let you guys know that there are two different type of power steering pumps for the K-Series cars. You want to make sure you get one that looks obviously like this fitting that comes with your kit. But anyways, we're not going to be worrying about that. If you guys want to check that out, go ahead and take a look at that video. Today, we're going to get ice cold AC set up on this this car. So as you guys know, or most of you guys know, the radiator with all swap cars has to go over here. Manifold will hit and where the port comes out for the coolant. It just makes it really difficult. You can't really do it. You can keep it over here if you put a port here on the side and then go around. I've seen those before. But if you do that, then you can't really have AC, or it makes it difficult to have air conditioning. So first thing we're going to start with is the wiring. That's probably the more difficult part of this. Everything else is pretty much just like a puzzle. Everything just goes in place. You look at the pieces you have, and everything pretty much goes straight forward. There are a few things that you will have to keep from the original line, like the for the original AC. So don't take everything out if you're planning on doing AC when you swap your K-swap into your car. Don't get rid of all the lines, because some of them you're going to have to use. You don't want to do the work twice. So first thing I'm going to go ahead and do, like I said, is the wiring. So as you know, this wire over here would be going to our radiator, because our radiator used to be here. And then the same thing over here. So our plug for our condenser would be over here. Luckily, the owner had somebody previous before it got here. They put in a relay for the fan. They put a small fan in on their condenser, so he had the guy make a relay, which is awesome. So really all I got to do is take that off and move it over here. I won't have to extend these wires at all for the fan. And I also recommend putting things like this on a standalone relay anyways. It's always going to be better running on its own. But so what I do have to extend on this car is I will have to extend the plug for the radiator. So I didn't have a relay for the radiator, and that's fine anyways, because this is just going to go straight to the harness. You can always add a relay in if you want, but you don't have to. This will go straight to the fan. You can see here I almost have enough room, but I don't. It's short by probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 inches. Between the two. So I am going to have to extend it. I'm just going to go ahead and cut these wires back right here and just extend it a little bit and go ahead and solder it in, and that will be fine. The only other plug that you're going to have to cut or get from your previous swap or your previous compressor is this plug right here. So on the D series and B series, you're going to have a male plug coming straight from your compressor. On K series, you're going to have a female plug. And as you can see, we also have a female plug here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just cut that guy off, cut the wire that comes from the harness, go ahead and cut this guy off wherever it went. So go ahead and cut this. I'm going to go ahead and obviously I'm going to have to definitely going to need to extend this. I'm definitely not anywhere close. So this wire here, I'm going to go ahead and extend, and then I'm going to swap out the plug. And then this one over here, I'm just going to go ahead and extend because it utilizes the same plug on the fan. So I'm going to go ahead and just extend that, and then I'll show you guys exactly what it's going to look like. Alright, so I just went ahead and got all the wiring finished. I moved that relay for the condenser fan over here just to the middle. It was right there, moved it there, and we got plenty of room to reach over here. We got our plug, look at that, plugs right here, have plenty of room to be able to reach to our condenser. And this line right here, this is the power that it needs for the clutch for the compressor. So I just went ahead and I soldered the wire in here because you have to switch it out for the male plug. Also, you have to extend this anyways. So I extend it, swapped out that plug right here. You guys can see, and it goes straight. Try to show you guys a better view. So it goes straight to the compressor. So that's basically everything. The only different thing you would have to do is if you were going to do use the stock one that came with the fan, the stock harness, you would just have to extend that wire over, because obviously they have to go in the opposite place. But we were lucky because we already had that relay. So that's it. Not very much to the wiring. Just got to extend some wires, get some solder, throw it on there, and you are good. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to the actual hard lines. So like I was saying before, make sure you keep some of the lines in, at least the low pressure or the high pressure line for the high side. So this is going to come here. It's going to go all the way to your filter dryer, and that's going to be everything we're going to keep from the stock, from the original engine lines for the condenser. Our new line from the filter dryer on the outs position is going to go from here. We're going to run down here, and then it's going to hook to our condenser over here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that hard line in first. That way you guys can see what that's going to look like. Alright, so I was going to go ahead and put that hard line in first, but I realized it's going to be difficult to put that in after the condenser's in. Reason being is it attaches to the bottom side of the condenser, so I'd have to make sure it's out of the way, slip it down, and it's just going to be a lot more difficult. So I went ahead right now and I'm going to get the condenser in first. I went ahead and put these tabs on because we're just going to use that straight where the radiator tabs are. So those will go right in that spot, and then we also got a bracket right here that's going to hold it on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and get that in, and then we can go ahead and see exactly where everything else is going to go, like the line for the top, and then we already know where that one's going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and slide her in real fast. Alright, so we are making some progress. I went ahead and pulled the radiator out. It makes it a lot easier. I was trying to finagle stuff around it. I just didn't want to damage the lines, so I went ahead and pulled that out. So you can see this hard line goes from here, and it's going to go all the way down to the bottom side of the condenser. That way it can go through here. Once it gets through here, it will filter out the refrigerant if there's any bad particles of it. Then it's going to go into the condenser, get real hot, do its heat exchange process, and then it's going to go back down from here into the compressor. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now that I got the hard line done for the low side, I'll go ahead and do the hard line for the back here. So this goes directly to the evaporator. So you're going to have a hard line, it's going to swiggle around here. Then you have a flexible hose, and it goes from here, and that one's going to go down to the compressor. So that'll be your suction side. It can go ahead and compress the refrigerant, change the state, and then do the whole process over again. So like I said, now I'm going to go ahead and get that hard wire or the hard line in from the firewall and see how much room I got. I was told by somebody else to go ahead and tighten up the line when you got it here before you go ahead and snug it down because it's really hard to work on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get it on tight, and we'll go ahead and get that hard line in. Alright, so that hard line is in. It's definitely easier to do this, tighten it up like this when it's out of the car. Easiest way to know what angle you need it is just get it from the top so you can see where it's going to turn, and then tighten it, and then you can lower it in, because it is a pain in the butt trying to do it in there for sure. So I just went ahead and ran that. I went ahead and ran the low pressure line to the compressor. Then I also went ahead and put the high pressure side in as well. Reason you don't see the radiator or the condenser in here right now is because it had a small fan on it, and it was hitting this line right here. So I just went ahead and swapped it out. The small fans have this big old bulky motor on the back of it. This slim fan here is a lot smaller, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Normally people put these, I mean, you can use it on whatever you want, but normally people put this on the engine anyways. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in. We got a lot more room now. You can see next to that, ain't got no bulge. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide her in and see how much clearance we got. Alrighty guys, we are complete. I just went ahead and installed the cooler, got it mounted at the top of the condenser. Looks super cool up there. Be able to get some nice cool air coming in. Also having that fan on the back when the AC's on, that'll help cool it off as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and run over it real fast for you guys. We got the hard line that comes from Hybrid Racing. That's going to come here. And we're going to go ahead and hook up the flex hose that it comes with as well. That from there is going to go straight to your compressor. And then here on our high side, we have a flexible one that's going to go to your compressor. That's going to come up here to the top. Then we have down from the filter dryer. So we have down here, we have the hard line. Leads from here, goes to filter dryer. And then you have your stock one from the car that loops around right there and goes all the way around and goes back to the firewall. So that is everything you need to go ahead and get AC. The only next step would be to, obviously, got to have it on a running car. Go ahead and go over to somebody that's AC certified. You got to find a shop that's certified to fill it up for you. You also want to pull a vacuum on it. You don't want to just go to the store and get a can and fill it up because you want to make sure you pull a vacuum. You also want to make sure that the compressor has oil in it. So do take it somewhere. Definitely pull a vacuum on it because you don't want to waste a whole bunch of money putting the refrigerant in it and you got a leak somewhere. So make sure you do that, get it hooked up, go through all the process of doing this. You want to make sure you have a subcool. You want to make sure it's reaching subcool and is efficient, not blowing, half-ass cold air. But that's everything, guys. Again, as always, thank you for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
You don't got no sauce, then you're lost. But you can also get lost in the sauce.